Just over a year ago, in March 2012, Bishop Council officially launched the NetsforLife campaign at the Diocesan Convention for the Diocese of New Jersey. This campaign had an objective to raise 10,000 nets, or $120,000, provided through our companion diocese in Africa to those areas affected with the deadly disease malaria. The purpose of this video is to provide a glimpse of how this campaign stimulated and invigorated parishes throughout this diocese in so many ways, not only to meet our goal, but to exceed it, and to save thousands of lives in that effort. As the Anglican layman T.S. Eliot has said, "What is the purpose of our lives if it is not to help one another?"
Since 2006, Nets4Life has been working on the ground. It started in 6 countries, and we're now in 17 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. We obviously are in countries where malaria is the most virulent. People often ask that question, where we see the most amount of impact and death. But we're talking about changing people's behavior and changing a culture, as we call it a net culture, where people are beginning to sort of understand the value of the net, what causes malaria, and thus sleeping every night and changing one's behavior to actually do that, sleep under a net with their families.
We did a lot of different things to try to get as many people in our parish involved as we could. The church school did everything from getting a piece of Lexan, a Lexan tube, and filling it with quarters, because believe it or not, a yard of quarters is $125. It's very easy to see. To having breakfasts where people would make a free will offering for what they ate, and that all went to Nets4Life. The Episcopal church women took a collection among themselves. Our vestry made a commitment on its own behalf. And then the parish just generally decided that this was something worth doing. So we did a lot of different things and got a lot of people involved.
If you can save lives, if you can make a difference, if you can prevent a disease, then we have to do it. We use the curriculum on the ERD website, the Nets4Life program. And for 3 weeks, the Sunday school used the lesson 1, 2, 3, which taught them about the Rita mosquito. And the kids could really relate to that curriculum.
When we received the diocesan challenge to raise money for Nets4Life, we're a smaller parish, and we didn't feel that it was something that we could do perhaps inside the parish to make a significant difference. So we've been looking at ways in our parish to look outwards towards our larger community. And my husband's a runner, my sons are runners. We do 5Ks from time to time. It seemed like something we could tackle with some degree of knowing what we were doing. We had no idea how big it was going to get. The rector of St. James, Father Art Powell, recently entered into a joint ministry with St. Matthias in Hamilton. So we looked at it as a good way for the 2 parishes to have their first joint ministry of a project that we could do together. St. Matthias was on board, the vestry of St. James was on board, and so we decided that we would plan this run. What we didn't anticipate was that the diocese would be very excited about the run and help us publicize it and reach out to all the parishes in New Jersey and get the support and the turnout that we did.
Halfway through the campaign, Hurricane Sandy struck New Jersey, and the Diocese of New Jersey, as was true of neighboring dioceses, suddenly found itself in need of support and assistance, whereas we were all geared up to provide support and assistance through the Nets4Life campaign. It was an extraordinary experience for all of us. The Holy Spirit has really been a driving force in this campaign for Nets4Life.
What made me decide to do Nets4Life was my friend, because he first lived in Africa, but he had malaria too, so he kind of inspired me.
I was just touched by hearing the statistics and seeing the actual people who malaria affects, and just thinking that those are people too, and they're actual people, and that this is an actual issue in the world, and that something as simple as selling nets for $12 could make such an impact on their lives.
One of our young people, after our 2.5-day fall youth event, gathered pictures from his summer vacation, made a calendar and sold it at Christmas time, and then gave all of the funds to Nets for Life. And so that was one of those positive changes that one of our young people realized he could do something, and he took it on and did it.
Well, I live here in Beach Haven, and what I did for the campaign is get my church involved. We had a goal to get 1 net for each parish family donated, and I think we probably came very close to that. We have a large summer population, so we got them involved. They may have 2 churches, but they got involved with our issue here. And just education. I'm educating the congregation here and trying really island-wide. We had, at the LBI Fest, we had a table, and we got the word out there, and yet the realization about the problem of malaria and our ideas of how to fix that.
The parishioners embrace it, showing a sign of compassion. An interesting thing that came out of the program was one of our youth members took it a step further, having experienced the effect of mosquito.
When I went to Nigeria, I was affected by malaria. My first time in Nigeria, spending the longest time, a year, in school. So I didn't know what malaria felt like, but it was when I was about to come back to America, I suffered from malaria. But I was fortunate enough to have medication, so it didn't affect me drastically. So the fact that I knew that people were dying almost every minute from malaria in Nigeria or in all over Africa, I wanted to help them get a cure.
And for all the parishioners, there was so much joy that they were doing something better for someone they don't know, and they felt this someone could actually be somebody they know, or if they travel abroad, that they could have this disease too. So they were excited. It was something much bigger than them.
Well, on behalf of Episcopal Relief and Development and our board, Nets for Life and the partners on the ground, we would like to say thank you to the members of the Diocese of New Jersey, and parishes and schools, committees, and all the good people that have been doing such amazing work this last year. The inspiration that has come through your work has really, really been tremendous. And it wouldn't have happened without your willingness to push yourself a little bit more to do something really transformational. So thank you very much. We're very grateful.